Right, good. So you come to a position where it's actually nothing was eternal. It was non-eternal at one point.
It could be eternal outside of temporal boundaries, though. It could be eternal outside of time, as well as eternal inside of time. It's a distinction you have to make. I won't get back into physics again. You
see, look, that's why I'm using the terms always, without using time in the sense that, 5 minutes ago, Googleplex years ago, whatever. No. Yeah? Do you understand my point? So either your existence hasn't been always, or it has always been there. You affirm it hasn't been always. That means there's a point. Remember, mark my words, I'm using non-mathematical terms, so that you can't just bring in, this is the argument of Richard Feynman, this is the argument
I'm
of...
not using it to confuse you.
No, I'm not saying to confuse you. I'm saying the discussion that I have had so much from my experience, people try to then fit these terms into an argument box. This argument is from Descartes, this is from Immanuel Kant, this is from Feynman, and then they're not even thinking, they're just trying to fit it in the box and provide a standard box response to it. I'm not going to allow you to do that, because I'm going to use terms. Right. So there was a point when there was non-existence in your understanding. So I would like to know.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
No, that's what you affirm with certainty. Because either the existence of yours or ultimate existence has always been there, or either the existence has always been there, or it hasn't been always. If it hasn't been always, then you're certain it's had a point of existence. This is what I would say. You can't just say I don't know, because you have to subscribe.
You can say I don't know.
Are you saying you can have more than your position on a third option? You have to subscribe to one of these two. You haven't got any third option.
No, the third option is with regards specifically to time. I misunderstood you initially. I've moved away from time. Regarding existence, yes, I think it's more likely that there was an initial beginning, which I would call the Big Bang. You would obviously call.
You're limiting again to
I'm not limiting.
Just our universe, when there is proponents of models brought forward where there are multiverses other than our universe, but you're only confining to this universe. One thing you'll be surprised to listen
the Big
here.
Bang would be
One thing you'll be surprised. In the Quran, Allah says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. What is striking in this is God is saying praise and glory and gratitude to be Allah, Lord of all the worlds, not one world. People think there's only one world. That's what the Greeks thought. People thought there was only one world. But from the very beginning, we are told there are many worlds. Okay? Whatever in your imagination, there's more than one world. So, if you just think about this particular model, our universe, no, you have to take into account every other model that's there, which is being discussed, and say, okay, let's weigh out pros and cons of this. Your particular subscription is either to always been there, or there was a point of existence. You said point of existence.
Do you mean point of beginning of existence when you say that? What do you mean point of existence?
Because there wasn't always there prior to that.
Right, okay.
So that means at some point, your existence, it's a beginning.
All right.
Right. So if you subscribe to that position, there was a point of the beginning of existence. My next question would be, while there was non-existence, because that's what this assumes, how did existence proceed from non-existence?
Right. So first, I'd like to say that I'm not asserting that existence began. You can't necessarily say that. I'm saying. Then
you're not actually proposing or subscribing to this view. You're saying existence was always there. You cannot have any other option.
I'm not saying it's two. I'm not trying to say there's any other option.
I'm giving you only the two binaries. There isn't a third.
Answer me this. Can you be 100% sure of either option?
Wait. It's not about...
Oh, can you? Just say yes or no.
Please.
Okay.
I am saying you can only subscribe to one or the other. You cannot have a subscription to a model that is not possible in our discussion. It's not possible. It's either always in existence or it's not. If you say it's not, we can talk about it. If you say it's always been in existence, we can talk about it. Take a position, and we take our questioning or reasoning and our discussion from there.
Okay, but just answer me first. Do you accept that you can't be 100% sure of either one?
Brother, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
you just using pure logic now.
Yeah, use pure logic.
Name me one thing in this reality that has come from nothing. Where did that gate come from? Where did that tree come from?
Well, it's
Where did that grass come from?
You're using a teleological argument now.
Well, I'm not using any. I don't know about what the
Design argument.
Brother, look.
Do you see how you're putting the arguments in a particular argument types?
I'm not doing that. That's
automatically.
That's what it's
yeah,
called.
yeah.
Look, this is what it's called, but from a logical point.
Yes, yeah.
Brother, you can only say that this tree has come from the floor.
Yes.
This floor, underneath this floor, there's other things. Where did this floor come from?
I don't know.
Where did the gate come from? Where did you come from?
Well, I came from my parents, but
And where did your parents come from?
like, well, you're gonna.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
here answer this
you're
question.
looking at you just look at these things logically.
Yeah.
Name me one, just ask the Baba, name me one thing in this reality that has come from nothing, bro.
The closest I could answer would be various particles at the quantum level.
No, but even particles exist.
That's not nothing. That's quantum.
No, particles.
Right, but we don't know if it is. To us, it appears as if they pop into nothing and that they've only begun to exist once we've observed them, which could be described as coming from nothing.
Yeah, but when they say nothing, it means not space, time, and matter in the sense of our universe,
Right.
but not literally nothing.
How do you make that distinction then?
Because that's what the theory of is, like Lawrence Krauss, when he says, "Oh, there
Absolutely.
is nothing." It doesn't literally mean
No,
nothing.
it means something, exactly.
It means something, but it means nothing in the sense of when we say there's no left, up, down, right, and that, and there's no time and there's no space.
Right.
Then we in our universe would say it's nothing, but it is actually something.
So you're saying nothing is not actually nothing.
No, it's actually something.
So there is actually no concept of nothing which can even
There
be
is, but
conceived of. Oh, there is.
there is, but the scientist like Professor Lawrence Krauss, he is not willing to accept the philosophical concept of nothing. He goes for his own redefinition of nothing in his lectures, in his books like The Universe from Nothing, and he then explains how this nothing is something. Exactly. So we have to be very careful when people talk about nothing. When I say nothing, look, if I have a wallet and I say I have no money in my wallet, no money whatsoever, can I give you £5? You will say, oh, but you can give me £5 from your friend, from a bank, and so on. Getting negative, borrowing. I said, no, I have no one. I have no friends, I have no banks. The only thing I have is my wallet, which has no money. Can I give you money? So this concept of nothing is this. I have nothing to offer. But scientists are trying to say, yeah, you can give me £5. From where? From what? Oh, do you see that problem? This is a deception to, okay, I'm not going to go there because this will be like dishonoring our respected scientists. But this is becoming, I'm saying this is how it becomes very polemical. Science or scientists can be very polemical because they are driving a particular worldview, aren't they? Richard Dawkins, for example, is very staunch in his views, anti-religionist, anti-religion and so on. So he has a particular worldview, and because of this, he has to, make his particular arguments palatable to certain people. Why? Are they still behaving like children? Anyway, we've got police in control, right? Okay. So let them deal with that. So as I said, when you ask me, can I be 100% certain in either of these two positions? That is the question that we should really discuss. How can we arrive to that certainty? In fact, in Islam, what Allah tells us in the Quran is that He gives us information so that it can build our level of certainty. It can increase our certainty. It says, وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ, so that they can be certain of the hereafter. So concepts are given, information is given, which builds our confidence so that it rises our level of certainty.
Our knowledge.
There are different levels of certainty. For example, there are, in Islamic term, I'll just briefly tell you, there are at least 3 different levels of certainty. Okay? There is something called ilmul yaqeen, ainul yaqeen, and haqqul yaqeen. Okay? So this is about knowledge. Certainty from knowledge, certainty from, say, something that you've seen yourself, you have actually firsthand seen it, witnessed it, or the real truth. Okay? Because do you remember this famous analogy that we use, how a blind man considers what an elephant looks like? Okay? That's not giving a perspective of the real truth. It's a partial truth. Okay? So in Islam, the real truth, it will happen at a certain point. But you can have other levels of certainty before that. You can have knowledge that gives you certain levels of certainty. Okay? So certainty is something that we need to continuously build upon. Okay.
So you could continuously build upon certainty.
Yeah, until
it's not
at a point.
certainty if you're building upon it. Then it's just knowledge.
No.
Which lacks certainty.
As I said, there are types of certainty.
I would say there's types of knowledge.
For example, your mum or your dad, say your mum, is your mum your mum? You have certain level of certainty. It's not something, oh, I don't know. You are certain your mum is your mum.
The law of identity. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I say, okay, how certain are you? Then you will say, actually, okay, I haven't done a DNA testing, and even if I did DNA testing, it's not going to give me 100% certainty.
No, but I know that whoever is my mum is my actual mum, even if it's not the person.
No.
Who calls herself
I'm saying the mum that you have.
The one who I think is my mum.
The
is my mum.
the mum you think
Okay,
it's your
I'm
mum.
less sure about that.
Yeah, but you're certain she's your mum, right?
Not the person who calls myself my mum. I'm not certain.
So,
about that.
so you can.
I'm certain that whoever is my mum is my mum.
You have a mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can go to your mother and say, no. Look, I just wanted to make sure that I'm not offending you when. Yeah, right. So you can go to your mother and say, Mum, I'm not certain you're my mum. I'm a mother. Can you really have that discussion?
I have, yeah.
You have.
I have in the past.
Okay. So, in general, most people, they won't even have that discussion. They will take that on a level of trust.
Yeah, no, they do,
okay.
Right. I was a weird child, right?
and that level of trust is what's going to give them the certainty that my mum. But when discussion or questions arise, people can say, okay, I'm not certain now because you could be my stepmom, or it could be my something that
could have been kidnapped or something. Yeah.
Whatever, right? And then you can have lots of tests. That means other resources to utilize to come to levels of certainty. Yeah. So these kind of things are happening in everyday life. That certainty that you're asking for is something that we continuously build. Scientific certainty. Are we really certain about the things when we say? That's why in a peer-reviewed journal we put forward something and we ask other people to verify it.
Yeah.
See if it's replicable. Can you replicate these results? Then the more you replicate this role, the level of certainty becomes higher. Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right. So in these two propositions, always existing and not always existing, we can actually analyze each of them in turn. Okay, let's take the position where it wasn't always existent. Okay, my question would be, that means existence, and prior to this, at a certain moment is not defined by seconds or fraction of a second or time.
Sure.
Moment, there was non-existence. Then I'm going to have to ask, how did non-existence come into or become existence? Because non-existence in our understanding would be absence of any existence. Absence of matter, absence of time, absence of quanta, absence of gravity, absence of energy,
absence of God,
absence of everything.
Okay, all right.
Non-existence is absence of everything.
Okay.
So when you have absence of everything, how can you then have existence? In what way you can even postulate this?
Well, okay, so I'm going to answer your question with a question, but did God create, I don't want to say existence, but the universe, the cosmos, from nothing, or did he create it from parts of himself? It has to be one of the two.
Sure. Okay. Before you go into God exists and how he created this universe, let's talk about this particular, the other alternative.
Okay.
Yeah?
There's only so much I can say.
I'm saying, remember, once we deal with this alternative, we have to go to the other alternative to see whether this is rationally feasible, whether it makes sense or not. You can't just deal with one alternative and then say, that's it, I've proven the other.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm with you now.
Okay,
I'm saying we cannot say, once you've proven that, it means the other is right, because we need to check the other and see whether that makes sense too.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Right. So in the second alternative, non-existence, which is not always been there.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Remember, I subscribe to the position where there's always been something there, okay? So I'm talking about the other alternative.
Right, okay, yeah.
The alternative that you seem to subscribe, but not certain.
All right, yeah.
We follow so far.